Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of my Dark Souls Dex Build playthrough. My name is Tebriel, and today we'll be taking a stroll through the woods. A stroll through the woods, you say? Well, in the last episode we got done killing the Capra Demon, and I made mention that we'd be going through a specific door later on. But I think we should go through the forest first. And as you'll see here, there's actually some new characters to talk to. Go over here, talk to this guy. It doesn't say much. They pretty much just tell you off and tell you to go away. Not fun to talk to them. So, let's go up here, and we will go back to the area where the blacksmith is. Now, the blacksmith area is I should say, the entrance to the forest, actually. We didn't really go out there, as we had a pretty dinky weapon earlier on, but now we've got a decent one, and I think we can go through the forest with some relative ease now. So let's run over here, ignore those guys. Oh yes, if you saw that I had a little bit more souls and some damage earlier than I did in the last episode, that is because of a recording error, so sorry about that. Now, continuing on, we are going to rest at this bonfire. Okay. Continue down, and we can ignore talking to him for now. No real reason to. So, and we come across our first Titanite demon. These guys can hurt a lot. I'm not even sure if I can do enough damage to him at this point. I will attempt to, but let's see here. That's the attack you want to avoid. Yeah, definitely not enough damage. Well, seems like this is actually the second death in the series thus far. Might as well be to a Titanite demon, I suppose. Those guys are not fun. But don't worry, we'll come back and kill them later. Those guys will drop Demon Titanite, and that's used for upgrading boss weapons. Because some of the boss enemies that you kill will drop their souls. And those souls can be quite useful. You can either use them as an item and get some more souls out of it, or you can use it to make a weapon. Okay. Now, after we got our butts handed to us by that guy, let's continue. And tree people. So, poke these guys to death. Okay. Some purple moss clumps. See, these are the enemies I talked about earlier in the last episode that will drop the moss clumps. So, poke this guy, and watch out for this guy too. There's lots of ambushes in this forest. And if you have a decent amount of humanity up in your top left corner of the screen, you will actually get a lot of drops. Even if you have 0 humanity, though, at least one will drop a moss clump. So, you don't have to worry too much about it. It's just nice to have the moss clumps. So, we'll go over here and see that this door is locked. However, if we go and look at this arch, it looks a little suspicious. So, poke it. Turns out to be an invisible wall. So, go over here and rest at the bonfire. Okay, good. Now we can continue on. Going through this way, we'll see an item. Now, I'm going to avoid picking up that item because if you look closely, you'll see these little bushes. Those are actually enemies. If you take that item, those enemies will pop up. And next time you rest at a bonfire, they will just automatically be up and try to attack you. So I'm going to pick up that item on my way out, I think. Going through here, we'll see, well, the rest of the forest. And a weird looking tree. As you can see that its roots actually move. So, let's poke it. Seems to take damage. A little weird for a tree, don't you think? Turns out to be some sort of monster or something. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Perhaps just a living tree? I mean, living in the strictest sense of the word. Oh yes, and these are these weird frog things. I believe they're the only enemy in the game that can drop the green blossoms, and green blossoms can increase your stamina regeneration rate. So, they're often used by PvPers. And we'll see another one of these guys, but we don't need to kill them. We can just avoid them. Live and let live, I say. So we go over this way. And see statue on the ground. Well, as you might expect, that guy's gonna get up later, so let's kill some of these enemies. And let's not get surrounded here. Luckily these guys aren't very intimidating in terms of damage or even their design, but I think they're a little cute. Weird little frog manta ray things. Okay, Soul of a Proud Knight. Those are actually quite good. They give you quite a lot of souls, at least at this level. So we're going to avoid attacking one of those guys. Don't worry, we will go and attack another one. Just that one we don't need to. So I'm gonna get a little bit more Estus and continue on. Okay. Now, go up here. This guy will get up. Okay. And we do a little bit of damage to him. Not a whole lot, but enough to make a little bit of a difference. Oh, he does a lot of damage. So, let's heal up. Attack him. And he's dead. Now, what he was about to do was use a spell called Tranquil Walk of Peace. Now, what that'll do is it'll slow your character and make it so you cannot roll. That is a very, very deadly spell, and it's actually one that you can get. However, it's considered cheap by much of the gaming community, especially when it comes to PvP. However, you play however you want to play. I'm not here to judge that. Now, as you saw on that corpse, we picked up a ring. One of our first rings, aside from Ring of Sacrifice. Now this will boost our poise. If you remember right, poise is what makes us so we cannot get stun locked. With this, we get 40 poise. Now that is actually a decent chunk, and with that we can avoid getting stun locked too much. So, we drop down here. Let's avoid getting hurt too much by these guys. And let's continue. Okay. And dead. Alrighty. Now we're gonna drop back right off at the bonfire. No reason not to, really. And we're gonna head back the way we were. Gonna head back this way and continue on instead of going on that alternative route with the weird tree. Now continuing this way, we'll see more of those armored statue things. And you see there's an item over there. Now that item, I believe, has the elite knight armor on it. And while I'm not going to use that set, it is actually a very, very good set for any sort of warrior character. Now, this thing's a little weird, and once again the terrain's trying to make it really hard to hit him. And an egg vermifuge. But yeah, you wear what armor you want to wear. Generally in this game, the armor doesn't matter too much except for poise, so if you like an armor but it doesn't really give the right stats that you want, it won't really matter too much in the long run. So wear what you like. Just keep in mind that if you have less poise, you will not be able to take as many hits without being stun-locked. Okay, now this is the boss called the Moonlight Butterfly, as you can see. It is actually a very pretty looking boss. We're gonna throw firebombs at it. If we can hit it. I'm not sure if we can. Oh, I guess we can. Now, he does a lot of magic damage, so we're gonna avoid getting hit by that if possible. Oh, we took a lot of damage there. Luckily we blocked it. We're going to want to block as much as possible. If we get hit by too many of these attacks, we will get hurt quite a lot. He isn't too out of a boss, you just need to make sure that you dodge. I'm gonna try and use the firebombs when possible. Should have probably took the loss off my hotbar. Gonna do that. Okay. Now we can switch between those two easily. There. Okay. Heal up, and soon you'll land. Okay, and now we can poke him to death. Now, I'm not sure if we'll be able to kill him all the way. Nope, we won't. We'll be able to do a decent amount of damage, but watch out for that. Don't want to be in the middle of that. Oh, wow, we actually got hit. Didn't figure that its AoE was that large. Now, we want to avoid getting hit as much as possible now. I mean, that's the thing in the first place, but... Okay, let's see here. He's dodging my attacks quite well. And I'm going to bring out my humanity. Let's see if I can pop a humanity before we die. Okay, good. Okay. He just seems to be flying about now. No? No beams of death? Nothing? Oh, there he goes. And now he's gonna die. Okay. Good. Now, that boss was actually seemingly harder than all the others. Which is interesting, because usually he's considered a pretty easy boss fight. I think it was mostly the shield I was using, and the armor I'm wearing. Certain armors and shields will actually deflect certain amounts of damage better. Like some will have better magic deflect, or I guess magic reduction I should say. And same thing with your armor. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Watchtower basement key and the Divine Ember from this guy, as well as a Homeward Bone. Now here, we can go ahead and use that Homeward Bone. Okay. And return to the last bonfire. Got a decent amount of souls, got ourselves an ember, which we can give to the blacksmith, and we got ourselves a key. Now, I think that is a good place to stop for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later, and see ya in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.